Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing formations. I am going to go over all the formations that I think are good on this game, that I think can be very good, and maybe mention a few of the ones that I think are OP. Team of the season here, we've got French League team season going on. Next week, I think we've got Serie A, then followed by that. We're going to have the ultimate team of the season. You want to be making sure you're using a formation that suits you and is good on this game. So this video is going to be quite a simple one. We're literally just going to go look through all the formations from the top, and I'm just going to talk about the ones that I think are good. I'm not going to break down every single one. I'm just going to break down the ones that I think are pretty viable and meta on this game right now. One thing I would say though is that I feel like the way FIFA's gone the last couple of years with instructions and tactics, I feel like every formation, if you build it and tweak it in certain ways, can be solid. I just think there's some that are naturally better than others, and they have a better groundwork to start from, if that makes sense. So, in my opinion, I would use certain ones more than others, hence this video. So, we're starting off with the 4-2-3-1. Now, the 4-2-3-1 is a staple of FIFA for the last however many, I can't name it off the top of my head, but there's been so many FIFAs where this formation's been good. It's not been like the top tier one this year, so to speak, but it is always going to be good. And one of the reasons it's always going to be good is it's so defensively solid. You've got the flat back four, you've got five midfielders who can get behind the ball. They're going to be hard to break down. The five midfielders make it very easy to keep the ball as well. So this formation is good at keeping the ball. It's got width. The only thing, to be honest, this formation lacks, if I had to pick something, would be the lack of two strikers. If you could squeeze in an extra one and make it a 4-2-3-2, it would be the best formation in the game. That's fair enough when it's got an extra man, but it is a very, very good formation. Very hard to play against when used well. This variation is a more defensive one that's pretty good at seeing games out. The 4-4-2. I'm probably going to do a video on this the next week. The 4-4-2 is a great formation. It's very well rounded again. It's basically not quite as good as the 4-2-3-1 at keeping the ball and defensively, but it's got the two strikers up front. It's a very solid fundamental formation for people new to the game who want to be good in all areas. It's one of these where it doesn't massively have any particular big strengths, but I would say this out of any formation in the game probably has the least weaknesses. It's just so solid across the board. Are you sick of getting out-teamed on FIFA? Want more coins to build that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out utnice.com, the best place to buy coins for FIFA 23. They're simple, easy to use. Use code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out utnice.com today. The narrow diamond. Another one I'm probably going to do a video on next week. Actually a pretty good formation when you get it right. I feel like earlier in the year it wasn't quite as good. Whereas now that we've got players who can suit the formation more, and we've got players with 99 pace, high stamina, I think it's more viable. It's a risky one because you do have to commit men forward. But the thing about this formation is, now that we've got so many elite midfielders who can play box to box as the middle centre mids, I actually think it's pretty good. It's a very good formation to blitz people with. And we've got elite fullbacks with the stamina, pace, good ability on the ball, defensive, who can get up and down in it. 4-2-2, pretty much a hybrid, honestly, of the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2. So you've got the two CDMs you can get in the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-3-1. You've got two strikers like the 4-4-2, and then you've got the Lam and Ram that the 4-2-3-1 have. So this formation, for me, is probably my favourite out of the classic FIFA ones. That's especially this year. However, I don't think it's one of the top tier meta ones. I think early on in FIFA, a lot of pros were using it, but I feel like that's because that's what they know. It's definitely a very good one. I've used it a lot this year. I don't think it's that OP, but it's very good. And again, another good one if you want to focus on the fundamentals. This one here, 4-3-1-2, mostly like the narrow diamond, just a bit more attacking. Now, the 4-3-3s, historically on FIFA, were pretty useless in my opinion. There wasn't really much you could do with them. And the problem was the wingers literally just wouldn't get involved. They'd just sit out wide and you could never really do anything in the attack with them. Whereas now they can actually get involved and join the attack. My favourite one out of all of these is the 4-3-3-5. I've used it quite a bit this year. You can be very attacking, getting midfielders to make runs for it. I've not used it recently, so I probably should check it out again now we've got better midfielders. But I really like this formation. Now, some of the OP formations we're getting to. 4-3-2-1. If you've not seen someone playing that formation this year, you haven't been playing the game or concentrating enough. This formation's insane. The reason that this formation's so good is for two main reasons. You can turn it into a 4-4-2 with the instructions. Basically, you get one of the three forwards on comeback on defence. So if you got Saka on it, he would cover right wing. And then you put Kimmich on cover wing. If you put Kaka on comeback, you put Diaby on cover wing, so the opposite centre mid to the forward. And that way it defends like a 4-4-2. Remember what I said? 4-4-2 is pretty good defensively. However, going forward, this formation's pretty incredible because it's got three strikers making runs in behind. This FIFA through balls and pace are very, very good. So on a FIFA where they're very good, having three players to do it, while also being defensively sound and very balanced overall, it's a brilliant formation. And I would say the formation of FIFA 23. We've probably got a few months left before the new game. Probably about 4 months in reality, but the last few months, people aren't quite as bothered. Whereas if I had to pick a formation that's probably been the big one this year, it would be 4-3-2-1. The 5-4-1. Now, a person that I coach named Andrew, shout out to Andrew if he's watching this, I talked to him about this formation and he said, what do I think about it? Do I think you should use it? I said, you will probably hate it, but it is very effective. And about 2 weeks after I told him about it, he said nearly everyone he faced was playing it. I think this is very much so a new gen formation where the game's slower, it's harder to break people down. This formation has become much more OP. Going forward, this formation's not that great. It's still good though, and it's good enough where it works because it's so annoying, hard to break down defensively. It's very good at keeping the ball. You've got a left mid, a right mid, and two wing backs to spread the ball out wide too. I would say you do need a pretty good team to play at least going forward because you need good enough attackers to make it work when you have more limited options. But defensively, it's incredible. If you want to be a bit of a rat, want a formation that's very hard to break down, going to hold your hand and play the game for you, this formation's it. The other five backs are all pretty good. I think it was the 5-2-1-2 that a lot of people used earlier this year. That was very good. You've got the cam and two strikers, but very good formation again. Probably the other formation that's seen as quite OP this year is the 3-4-2-1. Very similar to the 4-3-2-1, except for it's probably a bit better going forward and a bit worse defensively. And then I quite like the 3-5-2 as well. I don't think it's matched up quite as well to some of the more OP formations this year. But as you can see, there are a lot of great options. If we look at the ones I've named, as I would say are very good. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there was definitely a few more in there that I mentioned as well. So I think there's a lot of great options. I think at this point in the game, so many people are going to have so many different cards that I don't think you have to pick a formation built around your team. I think you pick a formation you want to play and then just your team will fit into it naturally. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I appreciate the support of the channel as always. Keep it spicy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.